Welcome to our week 28 of our NHS NeuroHyperSensitivity workbook, I Am Visionary. In this video, you will learn, especially if you know and follow my videos on my main channel, about how the spiritual gurus, woo-woos, fake spiritual people and the future predictors make you believe that there's something special. Only they can do it. In this video, you will learn and I will teach you the neuroscience behind of prediction, the vision, seeing the future, and you will learn that number one, this is not just specific to specific people, or it is also something that it is integrated in every single person's brain, in every single person's nervous system, and how you can deliberately, purposefully activate it. My goodness, this is going to be such a fun neuroscience, practical neuroscience masterclass. I hope you will like it. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe to our brand new channel with people with NeuroHyperSensitivity. Welcome to our community and let's get started. My name is Dr. Ayguen Sahin. Welcome back to my channel. Step inside the lab. Leave the labels behind. Discover the biology of a neurosensitive brain. From the genes to environments, the science is key. Welcome to the truth of NeuroHyperSensitivity, NHS, with Dr. Ayguen Sahin. So, as I said in the beginning, people believe that, predicting the future is something about special people, only special people can do it. And also, or it is some specialty that only rare people can have it, only rare people can connect to the future. No, my friend. And you will learn that I keep telling you, remember, alpha state, even that is maybe more like a marketing strategy of many people with lack of neuroscience talk about. But in this video, we will bring everything down to earth and everything down to science, and you will learn what all of this is all about and how can you actually purposefully activate it. So basically, let's start with the sections of our video. We will discuss what the brain is actually doing when it sees what others cannot. And then we will talk about the brain's prospection system, the network in our brain, which actually is a default system that everybody has. Then the two subsystems, we will talk about the two subsystems that work together when predicting the future. Then we will discuss the creativity connection, the creative connection, and what, of course, as always, what blocks your visionary thinking and what can you do this week. And of course, then we will go into our visionary audit very briefly and we will wrap it up. And by the end of this video, you will learn how to be a visionary person, how you can be forward looking, seeing the future. I would say without even trying, but you can actually first practice it. And once you do, and I will give you my practical tips, what I do, and you will see by the end of this video that I keep saying this already over and over again for years on my channel, on my main channel too, on this channel as well, what I do and how I bring my brain in alpha state, and this is exactly how you can activate your future's vision. Let's get started. So now let's talk about the brain's prospection system. Researchers have found that the brain's network to see the future, to envision the future, is the same network that the brain uses to remember the past. Unreal, but this is what the researchers of Washington University have found. And this network is a default network system in our brain, already integrated. And the researchers have found that this network, the default network system, is active during daydreaming, memory retrieval, imaging the future, and considering other people's perspective. And this all of this, because I just said it's a default system, it doesn't mean it's an arresting state. It's actually in a construction state. And its job when it comes to neuroscience is what the researcher says is the prospection system. And this means the projection of oneself into the future to pre-experience an event before it happens. And this brings us to the two systems. This default network system has two subsystems, the ventral system and the dorsal system. The ventral system is working under vividness, and the dorsal system is working under valence. So the ventral system involves the medial ventral lobe system that responds to the vividness of the imagined events. How detailed this event is that you imagine, the sensories, how real it is. That's the ventral system that is response to how vivid that imagined scenario is. That's the ventral system that involves the medial ventral lobe system. Now let's talk about the dorsal system. The dorsal system is the core default mode network, and this responds to valence. This means that whether or not that imagined future is positive or negative, whether or not it is worth moving forward towards or stay away from. Both up to us, by the way. And this is so important, as I said, because we can control it based on our own experiences. If we imagine the future, something to be threatened about, then we stay away. But if we, or when we think about that imagined future, think that it is negative, we are staying away from it. It feels as a threat, right? But then if we think positively of that future imagination, future event, then we feel that our brain is actually, the network keeps us moving forward towards that. So as you can see, it's up to us how we actually imagine the future, which parts of the brain we are activating. So the bottom line is visionary thinking requires these two systems, vividness and valence. It has to be actually real. The vision, the event there must be sensory wise, actually must be vivid, and also it must be real so that you can actually feel confidently move forward towards. And again, this is all how the fake gurus, fake woo-woo people, I keep telling you, whether or not they know this stuff, know the neuroscience and manipulate you that way, or whether or not they just do it and the neuroscience can back it up and say this is actually fraud, because they use these brain functions to manipulate, because they believe that only I can do it, you can't do it. But also the people who try to sell you empty hope is that they trick you into, I teach you how to imagine the future. This is manifestation. That's what they're saying. But the thing is, this is actually neuroscience, the ventral system and the dorsal system, that you have to actually imagine yourself not only vividly and smell it, and this is how they always sell it to you, right? The manifestation gurus, right? That you have to think it, smell it, taste it, blah blah. This is actually neuroscience, the ventral system, the vividness of the future events that you imagine, but also the reality, the valence, how actually real it feels, but also is it positive. When you feel it in a positive way, then you feel that you can move forward towards it. But if you feel like this is negative, oh my god, when I arrive that future, this, that, and the other will happen. And your brain will trick you into that based on, again, remember, it's the same network of the past, remembrance, right? So if you somehow connect the negative experience with the future, then the valence is off. And then that's why you will not be able to use it, but you will see it as a threat, meaning, whoa, the future holds this negativity, the threat, I will definitely not do it. So let me think something else. So that's what you not need to do. It has to be real, that your brain really sees this as something you can move forward towards. So what is the connection between people with highly creative brains and this system? Research have shown that the connectivity in these individuals and their brain, the inferior prefrontal cortex and the default network is actually highly connected to each other. And this connection, the high connection between these two regions, allows spontaneous generation. So the default mode then develops novel ideas more quickly and novel ideas continuously. These ideas and novel ideas are being captured by the prefrontal cortex before it disappears. So in order for your prefrontal cortex to capture those ideas, those vivid ideas, or imagining the futures, your prefrontal cortex must be in a state that it can capture that. Very, very important. We will talk about this when we say what blocks it. So in order for your prefrontal cortex to capture that, your prefrontal cortex must be available. So what does that mean? This means, and let's move down what blocks it. If your brain is constantly busy with a lot of stuff in your brain, if you're constantly under thinking mode, which uses the prefrontal cortex, it is always on, it is always busy and not able to capture the future vision that your brain creates. And as you know, as I just said, right, and we all know, brain must be off and calm and relaxed in order to be creative, right? Many creative people say that, right? I say this as well, like I can't paint for a really long time because I cannot create my art. I have a lot of, like in my Etsy store, right, a lot of my ideas, creative works that I have, but I cannot do them for so long because my brain is like, I never get a break. Especially recently, I mean, for the last several months, there's something always going on. I have to think, do so many other things that I cannot catch a break to even be creative. I keep saying that. Every creative person will say that. And this is exactly, my friend, what this is that our prefrontal cortex is not free to catch those ideas. And that's why many creative people say, my brain is blocked. I just don't have any ideas. Yes, exactly. Because our prefrontal cortex is not actually free. We need to free our prefrontal cortex, and we'll get to that. But also, and I will get to in a second what you can do, practical tips in order to do that. And this brings me, as I mentioned in the beginning, that I always keep saying and give you tips about, right? All in my trainings, all in my classes and courses, I keep talking about this, and this is exactly how you can apply that. My practical tips, what I do all the time. And so the second thing is that, as I said about the valence, right? The valence must be positive. If you keep using your past and when you envision the future, you keep yourself stuck in the negative experience and unable to bring positivity into that, then this will be a problem for your default network to be activated. So one must be your prefrontal cortex, your brain must be free to catch your prefrontal cortex, to catch those ideas. And two, the valence, right, it has to be positive so that your brain can move forward towards it. Now this brings then me to what can you do this week before we get into our audit, your core assignment for this week, your visionary audit. And what you can do is literally two things, right, where you just what blocks it. First of all, I talk always about the alpha state, right? Bring yourself into alpha state. And this doesn't have to be something, what is the alpha state? Oh my God. As I keep saying to you, my $1 million ideas comes always when I'm in a shower. And this is since college, okay? Since the 90s. And this is why this is like my blueprint that I'm teaching my courses, drayguensahin.com/courses, that the $1 million ideas come into me, my brain, when I'm in shower, when I am right in between falling asleep, like I'm awake and just about falling asleep. That, my friend, is when my brain get all the $1 million ideas. I even have a story about that in college, and I can do this another time. It's just unbelievable, like a genetic question in college, like it was just surreal. That's when, for the first time, I've ever noticed what my brain did and when it did it. And since then I paid attention. I was in the 3rd year of college in a genetics class, and my God, I will make definitely another video about that. So that was literally at the time just before falling asleep. So that's that. And also, again, my $1 million ideas comes when I do take long walks. Take long walks. Again, it can be for you meditation, I don't know, yoga, gym, whatever it is. Swimming. Oh my God, yes, swimming too. Can be anything. Just pay attention when your brain, and you just don't have to do nothing. Don't even think. That's the point. Not thinking, just relax, bring yourself down, calm down. I'm telling you, if you watch this week's videos, right, my main channel, what my breakthrough moment was after traumatic events, I took my time. I said, I have to regroup, like I have to relax. I have to bring my brain into my entire nervous system to relaxation, because my brain just stopped. I can't produce any more plan A, plan B, plan Z. I just have no plans. I mean, I have no clue. And then I deliberately said, I have to calm myself down. I stopped everything. I shut all my emails down. I turn off all of the alerts, everything. I was like, okay, I'm not doing nothing. I don't care. The half of the day I literally spent deliberately to calm my brain down. And then it wasn't enough. If it's not enough, it's not enough. The next day, it depends on the severity. The next day, Friday, I literally relaxed and think of other things, did other things, and really, really relaxed. And then on Thursday night, on Friday, like brilliant ideas came, my decisions came, and it just came like wildfire. Okay, so that exactly is what the alpha state is. You just need to calm your brain down. Then the second, what you need to do is when you think about the vividness and the valence, right? So the vividness is, it has to be, think about the future, and this will be all practicing. You will practice this in the visionary audit. So download it. It's available, download it, and start working from Monday through Sunday. All my audits are for 1 week. And every time you work one-on-one with me, depending on what situation you are with me, I will ask for the audits. So because these are raw data and I need to use them in order to create practical and personalized solutions for you. So take those audits seriously, okay? So you practice that this week, every day. These are short things. I don't have like these, gigantic books. These are 15, 17 pages. So explanation, and then just like quick, very like 2 minutes like each, okay? It just, you have to really go fast through them, okay? So nothing like deep dive in. These are audits. These are not workbooks, anything. Audits. And then at the end, there's this page where you do the analysis and for the whole week, like the final of the assessment of the whole week. Okay, so, and the second, again, when you envision it, it has to be, the sensory must be on, the colors must be on, the sound, whatever it feels like, it must be all on. And then it also has to be Valence, it has to be positive, that you are willing to move forward. Might be, yes, for me, for example, I had no clue what the future holds. I have no idea how to get there, but I decided I will do it. I will do it, and I don't care anymore. I have to do it. Not just have to, it's just, this is my decision, period. And so I still don't know how to get there, but I do know I will get there, and this will lead to my freedom. And that's makes so exciting and so 100% moving forward. It's scary, it's exhausting, it's outside of my comfort zone, but I have to do it, and I will do it. And that's the vividness and Valence all together combined. So with that being said, I hope that I was able to convince you that you and only you can activate what's in your brain. You have the power. I give you guidance, and I hope I was able to convince you that all this, what these woo-woo people tell you that they are special and you are not, it is absolutely false. It is a scam. Only you are able to use your brain. Only you have power over your own body. And of course, your brain runs your body. Full stop. So if you did like it, give me a big like. Let me know in the comments, what is your take from this? What is your aha moment? Always like to hear that. And subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a person with neurohypersensitivity like myself, then I am pretty sure that you are able to use your brain in a different way, and you have the power. You may be already doing it, but I want to know if you are already, maybe subconsciously you do it, but now you say, yeah, I'm doing this already. That's what it is. If you are one of those people, please also comment below. I will love to connect with you. And if you would like to join our NeuroHyperSensitivity NHS Community membership, where we can get a group together, where we drive research, advocacy, education, awareness, and scientific research and policy changes. Oh my God, policy changes, right? And so then this is the community. We will support each other. I say each other because we need to support each other, okay? So that is on my website, drayguensahin.com/neurohypersensitivity. And if you don't know whether or not you are a person with neurohypersensitivity, take the 5-question NHS quiz, and also then to see if you're qualified to even enter into our community. Okay, so I hope you liked it. Again, give a big like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon, of course, and comment below. I would love to hear from you. And watch the next week's video, because next week we are covering I am dedicated. Woo! I am dedicated, and after that I'm telling you, I am free. Finally, guys, I knew where this was going. I cannot believe that this week is the key. This week is the key. I mean, watch, please. I have already linked it down below. The intuitive insights, what is happening. The week is identical with what I said in the intuitive insight for this week, and with this masterclass, I am visionary, is just surreal. Like all of this, what happened, all three identical. Like you cannot miss that. You let me know what happened. And then next week is I'm dedicated, week 29, and then week 30 is I am finally free. Whoa, I can't believe it. So download your NHS Workbook. Catch up with us on Sundays. Every Sunday we do journaling into our workbook. See you in this video. Bye-bye.